I'm live. Oh, there we go. We're on. Let's see if this works. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You guys said it. We're going to do another live stream. Maybe this channel will just be live streams, just me doing weird stuff out in this shed thing. I'm going to try something new. I have a camera set up over there. It's a webcam, probably not the greatest quality. And then I have the computer set up over here, so I'll be able to see if you guys comment or say anything. We have an unboxing right here. This is what we're going to do today. It's kind of a weird angle, isn't it? That's okay. We're just new at this, okay? We've only been doing this for 10 years. 11 years, I don't know. So this is a birthday present, Mrs. D. Well, I bought it, but it's birthday. I bought my own present, and she said, "Go for it." So we're going to unbox this together. I've been looking forward to this. This is going to be kind of fun, and let's just see where this goes. Let's open it up and see what it is. I'm kind of excited about this. This is my box opener today. Wait, you know what? I'm going to use this. Mrs. D got this for me for Christmas, and it's an official box opener. It's one of these ceramic things that's not supposed to cut you. Link in the description. Link in the description. Let's open it up. Let's not waste any time. I hope this is what I think it is, but I don't know. Let's see together. Put that here. Ooh. Shall we look? Let me turn this around. It's our very first D2S jet. Now we got to put it together. Let's get it out of here and see what it looks like. Oh boy, here we go. Here's the box. Oh, what's that? Oh. Now what's going on here? There's foam on the bottom. I don't know which ones. It looks like this is the top. Okay. So I'm going to have to undo the tape on the bottom here carefully, and then I have to flip it over, I think. I don't know. I don't do much of these foamies. Okay. I like to build old school stuff, but I really wanted to try one of these jets. And it should work with the batteries that I already own. So let's take a look here. Unboxing. How does it look? Doesn't look damaged. Here's the instructions. We don't need those. Just go without those. Carefully. I don't want to hurt anything here. These are kind of fragile. Okay, well, that's a small little plane. It really is. Listen, we don't need those instructions. Let's get this thing out and look at it. Okay, pretty basic packaging. This little kind of thing holding it all together, looks like. And then here, shall we take a look? This is the wing. Okay. That is a small little plane. It's much smaller than I thought it would be. And that's okay. It's actually really nice because you can put this in your car and just throw it in the back of the car, and you don't have to take the wings off. It's really designed to not have the wings come off. I mean, you screw them on, I guess, but yeah, it's meant to just stay together. So this is that kind of, it's not really EPO. It's kind of a spongier type foam, fairly durable, I think. But that's kind of cool. What do you guys think of that? You guys said D2S channel can, change into anything we want it to, and that's what it's doing right now. We're going to fly jets. Okay, so then it looks like this thing comes out of here. Let's take a look at the fuselage. Looks like there's the horizontal stabilizer right there. Kind of a live hinge setup there. 2 control arms, 2 control horns for the elevator. Right there. All right, piece. And then we have the fuse right here. Fuselage. Cool. And inside is, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if you can see that. Inside there's a little fan. It's like a dust buster. You can see it back. Aim it. There you go. It's a little EDF. It's a little electric ducted fan. That's cool. And there's our control horn. So this thing is, if you guys know anything about RC planes, this is called a 3-channel. So there's a throttle. It's a 3-channel airplane. There's a throttle, and then there's an aileron, which is right here. These move up and down, those 2 servos. They roll the plane, and then there's the elevator. So you have a 3-channel setup. There's no rudder on here, but it is interesting that they made some marks where one could actually cut that rudder in. Some people do. They put another servo and they put a rudder in on these, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it simple. It's what you call bank and yank. You basically tilt the plane, pull back, and that's what makes your turn. You don't have any rudder or coordinated turns with these. They're just all out. So let's open this up real quick. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, here's the little winglets. So we do need to glue these on. There's a couple of pieces we have to glue together. Carefully get these out. These go on the wings. Right, let's see. You got to glue those on, right? Like this. And that gives it that Viper, classic Viper look. The little winglets that come up. Keeps it from, keeps them in a better, it actually coordinates the turns better. It's kind of like a stabilizing feature. Got 2 of those we got to glue on. Now, does this come with glue or not? Because I did buy some glue, but some of the instructions were saying that they did come with glue. Good thing I bought some. All right, let's get this out of the way. All right. Never thought D2S would go into building jets, did you? Neither did I, quite frankly. Let's open it up and see what we got in here. How does this work? Break it. Magnetic. So it's got a little magnetic canopy on there. It's shiny. That's nice. Okay, so what we have in here, let's bring the camera in a little bit. You guys can see inside. I always think it's interesting when people are doing unboxing videos of this type of stuff. You can get in close and kind of see how things are actually set up from the factory and how people install their own gear. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll bring the camera in just a little bit closer here and see if you can give you a better shot of this. So let's see. We're doing this live. Rotate this around a little bit. Hard to do. Okay, there we go. I can see it. Okay. All right, so what we have here is a battery tray right in this area. And this is the strap tied in for the battery, pretty common wire strap. Kind of a cable strap setup. It looks like they have some Velcro in here, which I mean, maybe I'll use the Velcro, maybe not. But basically, you strap your battery down. I'll grab a battery and show you what that looks like. I have one right here. I'm going to be running an oversized battery in this plane just because that's what I have, and they work. Should work just fine, but it's going to go in something like, let's see, probably like this. That'll be mounted in there, probably pretty far back because it is a heavy battery. And I may need to actually add another strap. Some people put a strap in on the back of this thing or like towards the back of the tray. but we just have to see how that goes. Like that. And then what's this? This is another cable. Okay, so these right here, these wires, so this comes with a system called, I think they call it a vector stabilizer or something like that. And right in here, there's a little green, it's like a little green chip. It's like it's a gyro system that they have. And so basically you plug your servos in, plug your receiver in. Actually, the servo's already plugged in. Plug your receiver in, and then you'll have channel 5 will be used for a switch that when you put it one way, it'll self-level. The plane will fly. If you get into a weird orientation, you don't know where you're at, you flip that switch and it levels everything out flat. The middle switch is nothing. There's just no stabilizer at all. It's completely off. And then when you turn it to the opposite position, low or high, it's like in an optimized mode where it'll handle wind and it'll kind of smooth out. If you're flying in windy conditions or turbulent conditions, it'll kind of straighten that stuff out. So kind of nice to have that. So that's what's going on here. So we have our battery. Let's just kind of set this together. We don't have to like fully assemble it. This is pretty tight. I do need to glue this. This will need to be glued down. And you got to get it nice and square. So let's just set everything together so you get an idea what it looks like. Then you simply screw these on with like 4 screws and it's done. Then you got to run those wires up through that, I believe. And it looks like it just kind of looks like it tucks under. There's a little notch right there. Boom, and then you screw that down. And that is basically the assembly. Comes with these little winglet things back here. Those are hard plastic. It comes with servo covers. There's no landing gear. You probably noticed there was no landing gear on this thing. What's the deal with that? Well, you got these little pinch grip things right there. It's a hand launch only. So you pinch it right there or you grab the top of the fuselage, but it's got little notches there. You give it a toss and then you can land it on grass or whatever. So, yeah, it's got, I think the nose cone is also hard plastic as well. Like there's hard plastic right there, hard plastic right there. So the whole kind of the bottom parts that touch there's guards over everything. So it's meant to, I'm kind of getting out of frame, aren't I? It's kind of meant to land on, I don't know if I'd landed on runway. I think I'd landed on grass. I think that would be the best. You fly this in a park. Let me move this back a little bit. I'm doing this live. Let's see here. Get it lined up. I need to get a better system going here, don't I? Okay. Getting frame. It's turning out to be a disaster, isn't it? Well, we are live, so production value is dropping. Okay, there we go. Now we get this thing in frame. Well, let's go ahead. I do have the glue right here. Now this is the glue. This is like a foam tack. Do that. Bobby, Solar Homestead. Bobby, good seeing you again, buddy. Hope you're enjoying Walla Walla. That's where you said you moved to. We drive through there. Well, close by there when we're heading back to Oregon to visit family. So familiar with that area. Should we just put this together? Oh, I was going to show you the receiver. This is what we're going to do. It's right here. I'll show you the whole setup. Might as well, because it's all. I'm going to get it all together. Not prepared. Not prepared at all here. Okay, this is the full system we're going to use. Battery, got a few of those. Transmitter, Radiomaster Boxer, okay. Pretty common radio in battlefields around the world. And then this right here is a FrSky 6-channel. Little tiny, super tiny, let's take this off. Super sub-micro receiver, like weighs nothing. That's going to be mounted in this spot somewhere, probably tucked under, I don't know, tucked in there somewhere. No big deal. I'm also going to be running a voltage sensor on this right here. And this is another little module that plugs into it. So the battery will plug into this piece right here. And the way these work is each one of these, this little port right here, this little balance connector. Whoa, it's flickering at me, doing weird stuff. This little balance connector right here shows the voltage of each individual cell. This is a 3-cell, 1, 2, 3, like little pancakes in there. And then it also shows the voltage of the total pack voltage. So when I'm flying this EDF, what I'm concerned about is when how do I explain this? When the lowest voltage of the lowest cell is at its lowest point, that's when you want to take notice. So I mean, the whole pack might be low, but it might just be one cell that's dragging the whole thing down. So if there's a cell that's going bad, you want to know that a cell is going bad. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to kind of watch that low. That's the one that's giving you trouble. You want to watch that cell because these things pull a lot of amps. They pull a lot of power quickly. Like they will go through batteries quick. So you want to make sure you're watching the lowest voltage out of the battery. And Bobby probably understands this because, he does solar stuff and he knows about batteries and electronics and things. He says, I love it here. Ask him about Walla Walla. This, I hope this is not flickering. It's doing some weird stuff here and I don't know why. I don't know, technical difficulties. Close to Walla Walla, more in the country. Just say Walla Walla, as more people know Walla Walla better than my small town. So he lives in a small town outside of Walla Walla. That's kind of a cool area, kind of a nice. You guys got the onions down there, don't you? Right? Isn't that the main thing? We smell the onions when we drive through there. And it's a cool spot. It's a cool spot. Okay, should we put the winglets on? What do we do first? What should we do? Let me read the instructions. Not a whole lot to it, but let's just make sure we do the right thing. It's not a toy. That's not a toy. Not for children under 14 years of age. Well, probably not safe for me either. This is a vector system. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. So we can run it with S-Bus. This receiver does S-Bus. That's a whole different topic. All right, so it just says you glue on the stabilizer, glue on the winglets, screw on the wing. Okay. I guess that's it. Pretty straightforward. Put your battery in and go fly. Now then you got to put the clevises on and all the little control linkages and stuff like that. We'll do that when the receiver's plugged in because everything will center up when the receiver's plugged in. If you do that now, you plug everything in and it's all crooked and then you're hooked up all wrong. It's not ideal. They give you rates. So there's high rates and low rates. And so you can measure how much things move up and down. And these things you can really get them radical. Finding the center of gravity. Most important thing when you fly is finding the center of gravity. You got to find out where that CG is with the battery in it. All up weight. You got to be able to balance it on a certain point. And they tell you where that is. And it's probably under here somewhere. It's probably under where those screws are. So you got to make sure that is balanced. Because if it's tail heavy, here's the rule. With a plane, if you guys know anything about aviation, if it's tail heavy, you ain't bringing it back in one piece, most likely, unless you're really good. If it's nose heavy, you'll probably bring it back, but it'll be flying fast. It it won't land slow. You won't be able to flare it out. It'll just kind of, it'll be hard to fly it slow and nice, and it'll be kind of nose down and too fast. But it will come back. You can make the adjustments. If you're tail heavy, that's a bad deal. Like that, you don't want to be tail heavy. It's just not. It's a no. So let's glue it. Let's glue it up. Make it happen. Do it right now. I don't have anything to do. I'm just gonna film. Keep the camera on. Take this off of here. Get this out of the way. First, let's put the horizontal stabilizer on. We'll move this out of the way for now. Do that in a second. So what do we got? We got to make sure that this is lined up perfectly, and there's, yeah, that goes in there like one way only. Pretty tight. That's good. Okay. Let's. It looks like the glue goes along this little ridge right here, and then up here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little knife. We don't want that to come off, so we're going to score that up just a little bit of scratching. Nice. Now we're going to do this spot. Carefully. Gives the glue some place to stick. It's good to do in foam. That's good. Scour this a little bit. Score it, scour it, score it. I don't think it's going to come out anyways because it's pretty tight fit. John Wick is back in the house. Okay, it says yes, and yeah, he said, is there onions? I asked if there's onions in Walla Walla. Bobby said yes, there is, and there is wine as well. Would love to meet up sometime when you're going to see your family in Oregon. That'd be awesome, man. It'd be cool to meet up in person. Why not? That'd be cool. You're a cool dude. It says there's a flicker, but it stopped again. I don't know what that's about. I wonder if it's something to do with my connection here, like with this camera. I don't know. It's weird. It's not doing it anymore. Shall we proceed? Let's glue it on. Don't smell that stuff. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's put this on. We'll go this way. Whoa, I'm spilling stuff over. That is thin. Wow, that cleaned up. I thought this is more like foam tack, but it's more like I don't know. It's really thin. That's weird. Let me get a rag here. It's gonna be a big mess. Be careful. Sticky stuff, man. Wow. It's gonna work good. If I touch that computer. What's up, John Wick? We're putting together airplanes tonight. It's my birthday present. It was a rough day, and I'm building a jet. That's how things go. That's what I'm doing. Prepper stuff, and I ended up flying airplanes a lot, so that's just what happens. Here, not a ton, because it'll melt a little bit, like this, and I think it's a contact cement. Let's get that going. All right, really light, just a small amount. Who says preppers can't fly jets, man? What? I mean, what's the rules? There's no rules. I can do whatever I want. Sometimes flying RC planes might be a prepper thing in the future. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit in the middle. This is going to be a big mess if I. So probably have to let that dry just a bit. Man, that stuff is sticky. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. I'm trying to get it in there a little bit. I should have. Don't do this with your finger. Get like a Q-tip or something. Don't do what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Assembly. It's gonna get. Okay, we're in. Is it straight? Dead straight. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Look at that. Oh yeah, that came out good. Big deal. Man, that stuff, look at that, it's sticking to everything. That's amazing. Okay, that's pretty much the fuselage done. Like, that's it. Let's do the winglets. So this over here. Where'd they go? Here they are. So these go on here. Score them a little bit. Same thing. Okay. Score the other side. Let's just do them all in one piece, one deal. This side. Little grooves and stuff. Sandpaper would probably work as well. It's flickering again, isn't it? It's weird. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what happens. See if it sticks. Let's put just a little bit. Don't do this with your finger. I'm going to, but you don't do that. It's so messy. That's too much. Just a little. We just need a little bit. It's like a contact cement. Some on the front. Okay, now the way this stuff works, I believe, is you stick it on there, get it nice and pressed in. Sit for a second, then pull it off. And kind of wait for a minute. And then go for it. And it's just like, oh, this stuff is so sticky. Nice. Done. Just make sure it's locked in good. Beautiful. One winglet on. That's as simple as that. That's all there is to it. I build wood balsa, like balsa wood planes and like old school planes most of the time. So these kinds of planes are funny to me because they're so fast to build. You really don't build anymore. You just kind of assemble a couple of pieces and you're ready to go. That's the upside. The downside with foam, like little foamy planes, these Chinese foamy planes, is like when they're done, they're done. Like there's no really repairing them. You can crash them a couple of times and you can repair them, but they'll never really look nice again. Like with a balsa plane, you can actually repair it. You can take something that's in pretty bad shape and you can bring it back. But these are they're kind of like disposable almost, you know. Okay, let's pull that off. Wouldn't say disposable. They're, you know, you'll get your use out of them. They are to a certain extent durable because you know you can repair them, glue them back together, and get them flyable pretty easily. But they're not going to be the same as they were. They're not going to be the same. It's like a Nerf football. Okay, those are done. That's basically all we need for glue. I probably could have included a little tube of glue in there, arrows, and you know, wouldn't have to buy one. Just need a little tiny bit. But that'll be for if we crash it, we can put it back together. Okay. Now on there good enough? Looks like it. Nice. Okay. Shall we glue or shall we screw this onto the bottom of the fuse now? Possibly. Let's grab that. I'm going to do this. Should have brought my little work table thingy out here, my little airplane cradle. Oh, we got glue. Okay, let's just balance. Set that in there. Get screws. What do we got? What kind of screws are these? Little tiny ones. Okay. So fuselage is upside down. We pull out the servo wires, which are just kind of sitting there in storage. Those hang out. You got to tuck those under into the fuselage where they're going to plug into the flight controller. And this is a backwards wing. We don't want to do that. Carefully tuck those in. Make sure they're not hanging up on anything important. It's looking good. And that just kind of sets down on there. I can see the holes through there now. I got to get a screwdriver, a little tiny one. I have one. Right here. In here. The tiny screwdrivers, little itty bitty things. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. I'm gonna screw this wing on and call it done. I'll do a couple more things here. Let's take screws in. Do that. Carefully. There. Oh, there we go. One last little. Seems tight. Don't want to over tighten it. Don't want the wing to fall off either. We're going to go in a crisscross pattern, just like tightening down a head gasket, except that we're tightening down a foam wing. Same amount of risk. There we go. Can't tell when it's tight. It's plastic in plastic here. Oh, I think we're there. Looks good. Looks solid. They give us an extra screw. How nice. There's probably one more thing I gotta put on. Okay, that's tight. Last one. Good. That is it. This is basically a fully assembled plane. One more screw. They give us an extra screw. I hope I don't need that somewhere. I want to keep it. Probably just a spare. That's it. All right, what do we do next? Shall we? Are you guys getting bored? There's a whole bunch of you watching. Are you guys getting? Bobby wants to know is if this battery is a 3P, a 1S or a 3S. This battery right here, this plane is meant to fly off 3S. So this is 3S. There's it's your standard LiPo, right? There's 3 kind of wafers in here. I guess they're like little soft packs. So you actually have to be very careful with these. I store them in a LiPo safe bag for fire protection, and also in a modified ammo can as well. But yeah, it's this discharge rate is 60C. So 60C, there's like 30C, 60C, 100C. That's like how many amps it can dump at once. So 60C is kind of middle of the road. Should be pretty good for an EDF. A little overkill for a prop style plane. They don't pull as hard. So let's go ahead and hook up the receiver. Why not? John Wick said, "What was the model you flew in the short video earlier?" That's my one other foamy. Like it's called an FMS Super Easy, and it's a trainer type plane, and it's one of the few planes. I'm going to tip this up a little bit. It's a it's made. I think it's actually made by the same company actually as this one, as this Arrows. I think it's the same company. It's an FMS Super Easy, very good little plane just for bashing around, throwing in the car. It comes with floats or landing gear. So when it's snowing, I put floats on it because it has plastic skids, and so I can use it like skis. And we live next to a lake, so I've flown it off the lake. It's amazing. It's just a nice little plane to throw in your car, and it just kind of does everything. It's just kind of a cool little plane, but it's foam, and it will wear out, and it's starting to show its age a little bit. But I've flown it a lot. Yes, 3S is 3 cells in series. This is an 11.2 volt or 11.1 volt pack. And then I can fly 4S on this thing. It's not recommended by the factory. A lot of people do, and it's just fine. There's plenty of airflow over the speed control in this one. So let's turn on the transmitter and see if we can hook up this receiver and just get it going. I think I have this thing all ready to go, pre-programmed.
Welcome to HTX Design.
And we're going to go into our menu to show. So I have to go into the menu on here to show what channel is being actuated by the transmitter, and then hook up the right part of the receiver. Hook up the right channel, the right servo to the right port on the receiver. So let's do the elevator first. That appears to be channel 2. Descend it. So elevator is channel 2 right here. Channel 2. Let's hook that up. Negative is brown. And then I gotta find channel 2. Man, these are so small. I think it's that one. I don't know. Problem is, you wake up one day and you're old, and then you realize you also can't see very good, especially up close. So then we're going to do, that's elevator. And then we're going to do aileron. That's roll. That is channel 1 on this one. So let's do aileron. Channel 1. Right next to it. And throttle should be channel 3, typically. Pretty standard. Now I think S-bus / PPM mode, that would be channel 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. Receiver's hooked up. So let's go ahead, and what we should do is, we have throttle cut? Okay. Throttle cut's on. Yes. And then we have, yeah, we should be good to go. I'm going to plug this battery in, and we'll see if anything blows up. Do its thing. I think it's got to like freak out a little bit. Okay. Awesome. So none of the control surfaces are hooked up yet. I have not hooked those up. Let's put this camera back down so you can see what's going on. None of the control surfaces are hooked up. However, I am pretty much ready to do that because the servos are now. So, you know what? I haven't hooked the ailerons up. See, this is why you test things. I don't know which one's which. Does it matter? No. These are ailerons. I gotta hook those up. Where'd those go? There's this one and this one. I don't know if they're correct. It doesn't really matter because I'll reverse it if it is. So we gotta hook these up. Okay. Next aileron right here. Shall we see if they work? Oh, they do. Is it going the right way? No. Right now, I'm turning the stick to the right, and the plane would roll to the left. So we got to fix that. Quick little servo, huh? Okay, we're going to fix that right now. Like right now. Direction would be channel 1. Edit. Like that. Yep. And that is correct. Let's make sure. Yep. So we're good. Do I have dual rates? So I have dual rate set up. What that means, I flip this little switch, And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can turn it a little bit. See that aileron? If I flip that up, goes even farther. So I think we're good. We got rates set up. We got that hooked up. Now we got to hook up the control arms to the elevator, and we are pretty much done, other than just like figuring out where to put this receiver inside the plane. Let's just unplug it. Oh, you know what? Let's turn on let's turn on the engine real quick, just so you guys can hear this thing. It should be completely insane. Is there anything behind it? It's not going to go blowing away. Okay, here we go. Ready? Throttle cut off. Whoa! Woo! Woo! That's freaking out. Battery's like, it's like battery's dead. I haven't charged this one up. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Cut. Okay. Turn it off. Unplug. It's like a little vacuum cleaner.
Telemetry lost.
Okay. So looks like all I gotta do is snap this thing together. I need this thing again now. Okay. You guys still chatting in here? Yes, 3S, 3 cells in series. I think I already answered that, but yeah, 11.1 volts. Or 4S, which I think is like 14 point something volts. I gotta get this thing straightened out here. So now all I gotta do is connect these arms right here, and we're done. Like the thing is assembled, pretty much ready to fly. I just gotta stuff that receiver in there, and we're basically good to go. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Pretty nuts. And they're tiny. Hard to get your fingers on here. That's interesting. So what I'm looking at here is the fact that these are a little short, which is interesting. These look short. I wonder if I can do it from this side and kind of lengthen both of those out. Oh yeah. Yep, looks like I can. So what's happening here is these control arms are just slightly short, need to be adjusted from the servo side and pushed back so that I can keep these level. Otherwise, it's gonna, when I hook them up, it's gonna be down, and that you don't want to do your maiden flight with like down elevator. But the problem is, I don't think I have one of those wrenches here. Maybe I do. Oh, maybe I do. Let's find out. It's a little tiny one. Maybe it's this one. Oh, not that tiny. This one? I don't know if I have the right one. I'll find out. Really close. Let's see. It's kind of loose, man. So here's the deal, and this is why you kind of want to check stuff. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. Is that loose? It's a little loose. Okay, we got the right one. Okay, let's see. All right. So 3S, 4S. I bet that thing would. It does rip on 4S for sure. Oh, you've been getting into Meshtastic. Yeah, that's something I've been wanting to try for a while. What modules are you using? Those little. Which ones are good? I know there's a bunch of them. If you guys don't know what Meshtastic is, so Meshtastic is like it's kind of a system. He says it's kind of a system that is basically you can get these little transceivers, these little LoRa. They're called LoRa Mesh Network. It's a LoRa Mesh Network, LoRa, and it's let me pick this up a little bit. This is all crooked, man. I can't see the screen. We're learning here, okay? Like that's just how it goes. There we go. So Meshtastic is one of these deals where you basically you can buy these little modules that are LoRa Mesh Network. It's kind of I don't know how to describe it, but basically, like our internet connection is LoRa Mesh Network. Actually, there's some protocols on these things. They're ELRS, which is a LoRa Mesh Network. They're extremely robust communications, like data packet transfer. So if you put these little modules up, and they're free right now, you don't need a ham radio license or anything, but you can put these little modules up, hook your phone, I believe your phone up through text messaging, and you can use it as like a wire. Like if the internet goes down or phones, cell towers go down, you can actually use these as like little mini towers. And you can text message, you're like a group of people, or you can open them up to public or whatever. It's kind of an open source deal, but basically instead of using like a walkie-talkie, you can hook these, have these close to your phone, and you can put little base stations and repeaters up wherever, however you want. And they're super low power. And so you can put a little solar panel on them, and then basically you can set up a little network around your town pretty easily and just keep connecting these things, and it keeps extending the range. The way LoRa Mesh Network works is the signal will hop from each of these antennas, I guess, or these little transceiver, receiver things. They'll kind of hop between them, and it'll just extend the network out pretty much as far as you want. And they go pretty darn far, even just with like between 2 points, but you can extend them. So if you have a few friends like around your county or your neighborhood or your city, you can each get these things and kind of strategically put them up. And they're only small. They're really tiny, little tiny antennas and stuff. And so this gives you the ability to send text messages if the cell phone towers go down or whatever. So they're kind of cool. It's a pretty cool setup. But LoRa style chips, stuff like that, it's kind of the latest, greatest thing. And I know even RC planes are getting into that. If the ELRS system version of this radio, there's been people who have flown planes. Not that you're supposed to do this legally, but they've been getting like 90-kilometer range out of these things, which is insane. Cameras and all that. So, there's a reason the government's kind of nervous about this kind of stuff. I don't blame them. Too bad for them. Okay, so here's what we're going to do is make this change. I think we can just tweak it a little bit. Maybe not. That is pretty locked in, man. Let me plug this back in just to make sure we're good.
Telemetry recovered.
Are we going to do it? We got it. There we go. Boom. Okay, we're centered. Yeah, it is short, man. It needs to be lengthened out, dude. It is short. Okay, well, let's just do it. That looks better. Yeah, that's nice. You know what I'm going to do? Just going to hook them on, then center it up. That's how we're going to do it. Oh, what was that?
Telemetry lost.
All right. Okay. Rack wireless. He says he uses rack wireless are the main ones we've been setting up with a repeater. Then the Heltec V3 for the handheld for the church family who don't have the cash to get going. Yeah, they're okay. That's cool, man. That's awesome. We should do something like that around here. I don't know. A friend of mine and I, who's he's actually electronics. His job is electronics, communications electronics, and so he's big into the LoRa mesh stuff. He likes that stuff. Okay, those are on. Let's level it out. Get everything super level. And then we're good. Should be good. Let's tighten it down. Okay, let's double check.
Telemetry recovered.
It's beeping. Oh, that's supposed to be up. It's going down. Reverse. We got to reverse. Okay. Let's do that again. Channel 2. Edit. Direction. Invert. That's better. Wow, that's way too much throw, dude. Okay. Okay. Max deflections. Oh, weird. Okay. Let's go into this thing here. All right. Let's go back out. Aileron. Elevator. Let's set this up. Edit. See, I got to bring that down a little bit. It's pretty stout, man. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go 30 or something. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's it. All right, so I'm probably just going to sit here and tune for a while. Guys, it's been an hour. Let's do it. We did an hour. I don't know. This was kind of something I was looking forward to. I've never owned an electric jet. It's kind of going to be a fun birthday present if I don't pile it up the first time I bring it out. But I think it's going to fly good. If you guys are interested, let me know if you want to see it fly. Planning on maybe taking it out this weekend if the weather's halfway decent. There's some snow on the ground. That doesn't matter, especially with something like this with no landing gear. Really doesn't matter. I can land this in the snow as long as it's somewhat soft. Otherwise, it'll probably tear things up. But it could be a fun one to go rip around with, and I'm kind of excited to try it. So that's all I have. That's the unboxing and assembly of the, well, other than I got to put all this. Okay, let's just do it. Let's call it assembled. Let's put it all inside here. And it'll be like assembled. I got to make it all nice though. And you put the lid on it. That's basically it. I just got to glue that receiver in, or tape that receiver in here. Make it all nice looking. And then we're done. That's basically it. That's the whole assembly process for the Arrows EDF. If you guys ever want to get into RC planes, it's a super fun hobby. I would not buy something like this right out of the gate. These are kind of hard to fly. They're actually extremely fast. Get like a little trainer, but you can see like the modern technology, it's pretty easy to put something like this together in a few minutes. And I unboxed this and had it all assembled in probably under an hour, just goofing around. So pretty fun. Not like the old stuff. Hope you guys are well. I will see you on the next one. All right, we got John, Wick, and Bobby want to see this thing fly. Well, I'll keep you posted, and we'll see if we can do it. I don't know if I can do a live stream flying it because I don't know if I can get reception out there, but I'll film it. I'll film the maiden flight. How about that? And then I'll post it up. And this is an early birthday present, John. My birthday is next week, but we're really close to it. Close enough. See you guys in the next one. Take it easy.